Disasters happen in every community, and they come in all shapes and sizes, to a simple incident affecting one community to a major catastrophe affecting an entire region. To restore order following such a catastrophe and to rebuild the community, everyone must work together because they all have a role to play. Police, fire, EMS, and other response agencies, non-governmental and community-based organizations, as well as small and large businesses that operate in and serve the community. The private sector is the center of economic activity and operates much of our society's critical infrastructure. Communications and power networks, banks, grocery stores, pharmacies, and healthcare providers are just some of the businesses essential to any community. The faster these businesses recover, the faster the community can respond and rebuild following a catastrophe. Here in Idaho, we are blessed and also pretty spoiled. We don't have the kinds of large-scale disasters they have elsewhere around the country that keeps emergency responders in other places up late into the night. Tornadoes like the kinds that generate 200 miles per hour winds, not so much. Widespread flooding like the sort they see along the Mississippi River, rarely. Storm surges, squalls, and the gales that come when a hurricane sets its sights on low-lying coastal communities, never. So while our geography is a blessing for businesses in Idaho, it's also a curse because it fosters in most of us a false sense of security that leads to preparedness paralysis, more commonly known as, "It can't happen here." But if that's what you think about your business in Idaho, think again. Because as we have seen in our own state, we're not immune from the impacts of other kinds of large-scale disasters. Every year, wildfires consume millions of acres and cost millions of dollars. It can cripple the economy of many small communities because those businesses haven't taken the necessary steps to make themselves more resilient. We have seen winter storms paralyze large sections of our state for days on end, hurting our economy and rendering some businesses scrambling to cope because they didn't either consider or see the critical need to prepare themselves beforehand. And while a severe earthquake hasn't hit here since the 1980s, Idaho is seismically active, and many experts believe we're overdue for a destructive event that could render many businesses ill-prepared to survive and thrive. And it's not just Mother Nature we need to prepare for. The possibility of man-made disasters in Idaho seem to increase every year. Cyber criminals are looking for the path of least resistance and have found a few easy targets here in the Gem State. And unless you take steps to harden your company's critical business networks, you and your business could be next. The impacts from any one of these events could take months to repair, which means essential services like telecommunications, internet access, credit card processing, the shipment of merchandise could all be lost, resulting in a fragmented community where residents and businesses are unable to carry out normal activities. That's where this little blue booklet comes in. This Idaho-based planning guide is your plan to stay in business. It's a one-stop shop for helping you to ensure that you, your business, and your employees are ready for whatever Mother Nature or anyone else can throw at you. Think of it as your own personal business continuity plan, tailor-made for your business, known as a BCP. A BCP is a specialized blueprint that you and your business can follow when disasters of any sort strike, so that you and your employees can take the necessary steps to ensure essential services and operations are maintained. It does that by helping you analyze the critical functions of your business from all levels, including operations, resource requirements, staffing, hazards and impacts, and options to tackle them so you can draft an effective BCP. Let's say a certain company requires constant and consistent power to deal with damages of a major storm. It relies on a backup generator to keep its business functioning. But just having this backup generator isn't enough. It must be located in an area that won't be at risk from storm damage. But even that might not be sufficient. The company must also consider, for example, where they will get the fuel for this backup generator and how much fuel they may need to sustain their operations. Furthermore, the business must take into account their staffing requirements for essential operations. In order for critical staff members to be able to focus on the task at hand, they must feel confident that their families are safe and secure. Effective business continuity planning will take into account these kinds of issues: infrastructure, supplies, and staff, and will also include many possible solutions for problems that might arise. To ensuring that repair crews and supply chain merchandise isn't stuck in traffic or a roadblock. In addition, building relationships within the business community before a disaster strikes between government and community-based organizations will pay dividends for you and your business in the future, because it will create connections to provide information and resource sharing that will be critical when everything else around you is falling apart. In Idaho, we are truly blessed. We have a thriving economy and business-friendly environment where everyone can succeed. But it takes every one of us doing our part before, during, and after a disaster to ensure things stay that way. And that starts when you start developing your own BCP.